Hmm. Check, check. One, two, three, four, five. Oh my goodness. Good evening, my Rosalines and Rosikins. Mother is back, and I am so excited and so happy and proud to be breaking down the Browns' Darkskin Exotical Queendom. As you can say, range, spectrum, and or different phenotypes that are represented within our sort of beauty. It's just so exciting. Okay, and I'm excited because I realized we never had this video or had a video that literally would categorize the different phenotypes specifically, other than brown, dark, light, for the brown slash dark skin exoticals, from the range of being brown skin to dark skin. And, more so the hair texture, the featureism, the type of glow that our skin has. The different things that encompass what it means to be a brown slash dark skin exotical. And before we get into the different spectrums and phenotypes that are represented in our queendom within the exotical community, we're going to talk about what is a brown slash dark skin exotical. Okay? A brown slash dark skinned exotical is an exotical that benefits from, or a woman or person that benefits from featureism, texturism, admixture, and or racial mixing, and that has brown to dark skin. Okay. And also pretty privilege. I want to add that because I do connect pretty privilege to exoticals overall, no matter what skin shade. And so we're gonna talk about what it means to be an exotical, and also they also have maybe lighter eyes, possibly. Um, Maybe their eye shape is more of an Asian Pacific Islander eye shape. Think like someone like Naomi Campbell, Brian Destiny, something that kind of gives away that they have another racial group. It's really seen within their phenotype. A brown to dark skin alcohol in my book is also someone that has, for me, because I have this cultural fluidity, where someone might ask, as we all know, for examples overall, where you're from, what ethnicity, what culture, etc. And for brown cis dark skin alcohols, it's obvious that we have melanin. We're heavily melanated, so blackness is what a lot of people see on the forefront as well. But they see that there's also something different with our beauty, and we're able to try different hair textures, different cultural attires, different type of makeup looks. And depending on our features, we can blend in with certain melanated ethnicities. As you know, from mother, I have been told that I look Afro Latino to some people. Some people say Dougla, um, which is like a Afro Caribbean mix. As you know, I'm part West Indian, of course. Things like that, where, for some of us that are within the Exotical community, since we have so much melanin, people would like to categorize us as, black, but there's still, again, something more with our beauty that makes us feel like, as one could say, sometimes the token black woman or the token melanated woman, etc. Or, as some would say, well, the pretty black girl, you're pretty for a black girl. Although I've never really heard that in my entire life. I just get told I'm pretty. There's no inkling that black women are not beautiful when people address me. Because, as you know, I'm an ambiguous black woman, an exotic black woman, and a brown cis dark skin exotic cool. Okay. And so for my beauty is what I deem it to be, and my beauty has never held me back, nor made people feel some type of way towards me in an unkind manner, in the sense of they don't put a stigma on my blackness or my beauty, right? They praise my beauty. I get told I'm pretty by different races of people. It's never just black people or even just exoticals. It's people who have no foot within the Black community that try to holler at me, as you could say, other types of men from different communities around the world, and men that are within the diaspora, etc. So for mother has a different experience, and I'm a brown slash dark skin exotical, specifically more so brown because my skin tone kind of fluctuates. But I am a brown skin exotical. And I say that because brown, we're right in the middle. You know, you have light, you have dark. Those two, their shade never really changes as dramatically as someone brown skin with lighting, with their health, with just not being in the sun as much. They do experience, like maybe they look a little bit off from their natural skin tone when they get a tan or whatnot, but they're kind of sitting sedentary. Brown is in the middle because our skin tone can either appear more lighter in certain things, pictures or certain settings, or more darker, because we have that fluidity. And so when you think of a brown slash dark skin exotical, think of a woman whose beauty you can't pinpoint to one specific culture or group of people. Depending on how she does her hair, her attire, her makeup, her weight, her features, how whatever features she rocks beautifully, she has the advantage of being a versatile melanin baddie, goddess, period, to the depth of us. And so we're going to go down the rabbit hole of what types of melanated, beautiful women we consider brown slash dark skin exoticals and how they might appear. And as I'm showing these different clips, I got them from Pinterest, the internet, etc. If your beauty type is not represented in this, please forgive Mother. Mother is trying her hardest to find good representation, true representation of what it means to be a brown slash dark skin exotical. And so these pictures that you're going to see kind of fit the limelight of some of us. And I'm going to give them all different little names, depending on what type of brown slash dark skin exotical they are. And I'm going to talk about like their beauty and how I feel like it transcends the regular, oh, she's just a regular Black woman. Because no, all these different women I'm showing you, and Mother herself, and as well as you who are listening, my ROSALINES, we get put on a pedestal, because our beauty isn't just regular. It's not just something you see on the average Black woman, right? And if you feel that this represents the average Black woman, then I'm going to tell you something that you might not be ready to hear. More than likely, the women that you're thinking of are brown slash dark skin exoticals, and you've been told they were just Black women, as in regular everyday Black women, or you've been told that there is no ambiguity to their beauty. But might I add that there is, and it's not to say that we have to look like a biracial woman in the sense of a lighter skin, maybe like brownish blonde hair, because some of you have a very stagnant view of what it means to even look mixed. There are mixed people who are literally half and half that actually look like me. And I say that as an example because some people think that I am too Black looking, right, to be an exotical. And you got me fucked up. My question is, can you educate yourself on the exotical term, right? Exotical means that you stand out, honey. And there are some women who are very striking and who get put literally into just the regular Black woman box, but their life does not speak to the same trials of that of unambiguous Black women. And that's when you have someone like me that comes in and shares my truth and is a voice for other women like me. And those who are mixed, again, I told you all, not mixed, have admixture, right? But even then, those who are mixed that go through these things that I'm talking about as well, and even to a higher degree, depending on, how much they identify with the other side of their lineage rather than just their Blackness, that happen to also be heavily melanated. Think of someone like Blossom, Cardi B's daughter, and what she's going to become, because she's a brown slash dark skin exotical. And she is someone that will one day grow up, right? And her mother is a whole Latino exotic woman herself, and so in light skinned, right? And so we have to have these conversations for the betterment of the youth that are coming behind us and generations to come. That is why this channel is created. Because I'm not just going to lump you into the unambiguous Black woman category when I know that you are every bit of ambiguous. You have a fluid beauty. You benefit from the isms, texturism, featureism, admixture, and or mixed Okay. When I know that there is something different about your beauty, I'm not just going to say that you represent the average unambiguous Black woman in America specifically. No, 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 no. Think of Amara La Negra. She is someone who's Afro Latino, though some would just say, oh, the only difference is that you landed in that country and not America on the slave trade thing. No, you're very ignorant. Her beauty also comes from her Dominican, Puerto Rican, Afro Latino side. Her Latino side as well is her Blackness. And so on this channel, we praise all of the spectrums of Blackness and exoticism. And that's how you get the brown, the dark skin exotical in her own right, on her own throne, representing whatever culture that has mixed to create her and whatever features she owns. Again, you could be monoracial and an exotical. So that's why I'm saying this channel is for people who have an actual open mind and who have eyes to see and ears to hear the truth, the identity of those who would categorize themselves as more than just their Blackness and or put their Blackness, their beauty on a pedestal because we are treated as such. Okay, let's go. Okay, so the first type of brown cis dark skin exotical I want to mention are my Malaysian badges. Okay, they are the brown cis dark skin exoticals that may have features that have like more of eyes that are more squinty, but so beautiful. Because they have their Asian ancestry that might show more towards their eye shape and their brow shape, right? Maybe they have more straight brows than curved, right? And like their nose can be anything, you know what I'm saying? It can be whatever shape it is. And their lips are usually like medium. So it's not like too full, although they can have a pouty lip, like a Brat style, like a Ryan Destiny type. Think of Naomi Campbell as well. But you can see that they have some type of like Asianic type of ancestry along with their Blackness. Oh, their hair texture can range from like a 1B to like even, and up. So I'm not going to put a limit on the hair texture because I don't want to typecast this brown, just dark skin exoticals. Because again, we have range, we have spectrum. When you are mixed race or you look mixed race, even when you are, especially when you're brown or darker skin, you don't know what combination you're going to get, right? So they can have a curly, kinky hair like a 4A, or they can have some type of hair texture that's like a 1B, very loose, a 3C, right? They really can like have whatever, but usually I see a lot of somewhat silkiness with their hair, which is like, as you could say, like a one, I think it's a 1B. Um, yeah, 1B, 2B, to that spectrum, like 3A type, right? So it's like very straight to like very curly. So I really like that, or looser waves, right? And what I realized is that they have like the most beautiful body builds. And I can't typecast my beautiful brown cis dark skins alcohols in any of these spectrums because we all have different body types. But what I realized is that they have like a slender look to them with some oomph, like that Coca-Cola body, but like on a more flat surface where it's not like bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. I mean, oh my god. I really think model-esque, okay? Okay. And this one can even be played with the Ethiopian slash Dougla look. And I'm gonna get more into that as well, right? Because that also has a spectrum. Okay, the next brown cis dark skin Exoticals we're going to talk about are like the Ethiopian type. So I know that some people have this belief that Ethiopians are all like light skinned, but I'm pretty sure there are darker ones. And this category, you can also kind of put a slash with like the Douglas slightly. Although the Ethiopian look has more of I feel like African Indian type of look, along with the Douglas look. Again, the kinkiness and curliness of the hair, there's a spectrum. You never know what hair texture you're going to get, but a lot of times it's more of like the 2A to like 3C range. I see a lot with that. spectrum. So if it's like really curly, it's really curly, or it's more of a silkiness. Their foreheads are bigger. I feel like, me personally, as a big foreheaded woman myself, all the pretty girls have big foreheads. Let me not. Okay, so they have the bigger forehead, and I feel like more of the shorter nose, but that like has like a cute curve or straightness to it. I feel like the nose really adds to their beauty in this spectrum. And their lips are not too big. I feel like it's like a medium sized lip that I usually see with this type of phenotype for the brown slash dark skin Exoticals that have that Douglas, um, and how do you say, Ethiopian look, but with, richer, browner skin to darker skinned. And they have like a thinness to them naturally. And they're so pretty. They're so pretty. Think model automatically, right? Like when I think of the Blasian baddies, I think of fit. I think of healthy. I think of thin. I think of a smaller frame too. When I think of the Ethiopian slash Dougla, I think of like a model. I think of picturesque. I think of royal. I think of, because it has that African slash Indian look to them, that tribal, um, foreign look, right? And so, yeah, when I think of this phenotype for my brown to dark skin articles, I think of that. I think of jewelry adorning the body, etc. And the double look is more of Caribbean, I will say too. So I would say Afro Indian instead. My bad for saying Douglas in this specific way. And I'm about to get to my West Indian Caribbean girlies. One moment, please. Okay, so this group of brown slash dark skin exoticals is where mother falls under, obviously. So these are my Caribbean Douglas West Indies type of women, okay? You have the look of someone who has like more of African origin, but also mixed with Indian, and or you can say even European in that sense, because you have Caribbeans and Jamaicans, West Indians, etc., that have an Indian, and or Ethiopian mix. Also, Native American ancestry can be put into this category, I feel like, too, slightly, because there are brown to dark skin Native American women, exoticals. There are brown to dark skin Caribbean, West Indian women exoticals. So, with this look, it is more of, I would say, let's start with the hair texture, because this one, oh my God, I have so many examples. Um, but then again, I always scout out examples that mirror my beauty, but it is what it is. Okay, so this example, or this spectrum of brown to dark skin articles, they are women who have, I feel like, kinky curly hair to them. I would say their range is usually the threes to the fours. And they think like, well, Marla Negra is not in this category, I feel like, because she's like Afro Latino. Okay, so we're gonna stick with West Indian Caribbean women. So they have, again, the threes, I feel like, to the fours range, because mother has 3C4A hair. Um, they have, I would say, a more pouty lip, and they're a mixture of keen and broad features. I feel like the ones that were Blasian, I think it just depends on, their physical makeup of how they look naturally, like from their parents. But when I think of the Ethiopian, and I think of, yeah, Ethiopian, I think of more keen features. And for us who are Dougla slash, Caribbean, West Indian, etc., brown to dark skins alcohols, we have like a mixture. So it's like, for me, like I did an analysis on my facial features, and I have a mixture of both keen and broad, but more so keen than broad. And together, it makes me look the way I look, right? And so when I think of my West Indian baddies, I think of someone who can either have keen or broad, but mostly a mixture. There are women who I feel like have more of a curvaceous body, like a Beyonce type, Meg Thee Stallion type, endomorph think. And they have their eyes are almondy. At least mine are. But I have a lot of West Indian, like Caribbean women I meet, they like have, almondy eyes, pretty eyes. Their eye colors can, be whatever. Mine's are dark brown. There are women who can be shorter or taller. There's like really not much you can like do because height is just determined by your genetics, etc. But there are women who, when you look at them, you can almost mistake them for just American if you're not careful. But they give off a vibe of more than just American blackness. And so you might inquire, like, which part of the diaspora are you from? Or I feel like they're the closest to cosplaying as unambiguous black women if they wanted to, depending on what type of wig they wear, etc. And if they have a kinky hairstyle in. Like these are women who can go from African queen, low key, to island baddie. Okay. When I think of the Caribbean type of beauty that I possessed, it's something that is transformational, right? With Caribbean beauty, it's mesmerizing. It's a brown sister exotical that has that like Oshun Mamiwata energy. And I think I'm talking in depth about this specific type of brown sister exotical because this is where I fall. And so I know myself. So I can only talk about what I've realized with being a West Indie baddie, a mermaid brown sister dark skin exotical, Douglas type of beauty. Okay, now we're gonna move on to our Native American, okay, brown cis dark skin exotical. So the Native American brown cis dark skin exotical, she has a certain like strong jawline, and their brows are more like forward, like they have hooded like brows or prominent, I should say prominent brows. And they have a face that has, I feel like, a masculinity along with I should say a masculinity along with beauty in the sense of it's still feminine. So I'm gonna show a picture of a great representation of a Native American, a brown to dark skin exotical baddie. Me personally, I also have a Native American admixture, so I do consider myself falling into this group as well. Um, and so I love it because our features are so prominent. There's almost sometimes a masculinity to it, but it works because it makes us pretty. Like I was doing the analysis and I got a lot of my father's, like, I think jaw structure, but my mother's features on top of that, which adds to that. I don't know how to describe my beauty. It's just different. And the example I'm using here, she's so pretty. As you can see, her skin is flawless and dark and lovely. And it's like a smoothness. And it also has that ancestral beauty. Okay, let's not skip over that. A lot of brown cis dark skins out because we possess an ancestral beauty with our different, lineages and admixtures and mixes and like features and etc. It just gives like monarch queen energy. I kid you the fuck not. It gives primordial, it gives original, aboriginal, it gives all that like, ancient type of melanated beauty. Okay. And they have like, I feel like when I think of a Native American brown cis dark skin aqua, I think of someone who's like muscular, like you could tell that they're fit. They have this type of strength type of beauty as well with their bodies, right? And it could just be because of the beautiful women I use that I've researched and saw and picked. That I'm typecasting these different types of brown cis dark skin alcohols and their body types and all these different things. But that's what I think about when I think of the beauty that stands out and why they're not unambiguous black women. They're ambiguous black women, they're brown cis dark skin exoticals, they're exotic black women, and or mixed women that happen to have darker skin or browner skin. And so I want to make sure that I am shining a light on these different factors because This is who is part of the brown slash dark skin exotical queendom, right? Okay, and for the last or second to the last group of brown slash dark skin exoticals I want to talk about are Afro Latinos. They are very, very beautiful, and they literally can range in any type of phenotype. They can have kinkier hair like Amar La Negra. They can have like straighter hair or like silky, wavy hair, like that of the Afro Indians. Okay. And for them and their beauty archetype, they really have a festiveness to them. They have, I feel like, a bright type of, I don't know, beauty. Like they just sparkle with a smile. And I feel that way because I think of Amara La Negra. I think of other Afro Latino people and women, and they're just so beautiful, right? They're just so beautiful. They can have broad features mixed with keen as well, just like that of the Caribbean West Indies, brown to dark skin exoticals. Their body is usually voluptuous in the sense of curvaceous. At least the ones that I've seen that have been pushed to the forefront or in media. They have like the prettiest eyes that sparkle when they smile. I don't know how to describe it. It's just they give Disney princess vibes. I also think of like someone like Esmeralda from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I think of Claudine. Um, and believe it or not, some Caribbean women, as in brown to dark skin algos, can be also mistaken for Afro Latino. I get told I look Afro Latino to some people as well. So it's just different. Um, and so, depending on your phenotype, within the brown to dark skin exotical community, any of these can be what it is, which is making you into a unique type of brown to dark skin exotical and or part of a certain group of brown to dark skin exoticals. Another thing I want to add too is that we have mixed, so black and white, brown slash dark skin articles. Though I haven't really met many, I'm pretty sure they do exist because when you mix anything, you never know what combination you're going to get. And sometimes the skin's darker, sometimes it's lighter. And so I want to shout out those as well. Um, I know, actually, I've met a lot. Let me not play like this. A lot of African Americans have European admixture as well, and I know I do. Some higher than others, and it shows, okay, within their beauty type, because they have more than just, as you could say, African descent, quote unquote, within their bloodline. And that's what gives them their ambiguity, their exoticalness. And so, with all these different brown to dark skin exoticals, if I have not named your phenotype, please put in the chat below. I mean, in the comment section. I'm sorry if I missed you. But these are the more prominent ones that I'm seeing and that are more easily identifiable. And so with each range of brown to dark skin articles, depending on the mixture that you have and what you look like, your phenotype, some are easily accessible to a different ethnicity. Some have multiple ethnicities that they can claim or look like. And then some are more easily typecasted as unambiguous within the unambiguous community because they feel that they're not mixed looking enough, even though they have admixture, they have mixed racedness, they have featureism, they're pretty privileged, and they have texturism on their side that co-signs their exotic beauty in relation to the Black community. So, as someone who's dealt with people trying to gaslight my identity, and I'm sure a lot of you brown slash dark skin exoticals have as well, and the devil is a liar, and the truth isn't in him, my heart goes out to you. And that's why channels like mine are on the rise and are very powerful, just like channels like the other Zodcals who are lighter skinned. Because we're tired of people trying to cosplay as us 24 fucking 7 and tell us we're nothing except unambiguous blackness, when in fact we have all the privileges of that, of what they call the preference, as well as the beauty of blackness. And so you got us fucked up, okay? And so as you listen to this video, I want you to take pride in your brown slash darker skin self and your features, whether they look more Indian, more Hispanic, more Asian, more Native. um, more Caribbean slash West Indie, whatever they look like, take pride in them because they are the beautiful compilation of you, or compilation of you. And I want to say that the journey of a brown to darker skin exotical is not easy. It's a lot of you feeling like you're cosplaying as something that you're not when you're in fact just being everything that you are. And so, as your mother, I want to advise you to understand that though there are a lot of ignorant people that are, unambiguous, and even some, unfortunately, of our fellow large skin exoticals that might feel the same way that the unambiguous black people feel that, you belong with them, nothing more, nothing less. I want to say that you alone define your beauty, and you alone define your ambiguity and your ancestry and your identity. Okay? Regardless of what people try to categorize you as, know that you are a bad bitch. And so, whatever category they feel soothes their ego when you're telling them, hey, I'm a brown cis dark skinned exotic woman, biggest black woman, I'm a mixed woman that has browner or darker skin, I am an exotic black woman, right? I'm whatever the hell I choose to be, basically, with my brown to darker skin self. Okay? Okay. And they're still not listening. Tune them out. Okay? Because one thing I've realized and know for certain is that regardless of what people say, they try to clock our T and try to clock our identity, we're still going to get the privileges. We're going to get the texturism privilege. I can't tell you how many people say, oh my God, I love your hair. Oh, you got that mixed people hair. You got the good hair. Take pride in that. I don't care how nobody fucking feels about it at this point. Because we didn't ask to be born with certain traits that we have, right? We just have them. And it's no shade to people that have 4C hair, whether you're exotical or unambiguous. Nobody said that. And usually it's the unambiguous group that want to, police what good hair is. Exoticals, we understand that there are certain benefits you get depending on what part of your beauty is more acceptable in the wide range of the world globally. And we know that more so curlier hair is like that good middle ground from the kinky to the straight, right? And so it's more glorified because it's like a combination of both in its own way. Just so, but mother, she has a 3C4A. So I have curls, but I also have, a kinkiness with mine. And I love it because it's a good mixture too. And so take pride in what features you have, is what mother's basically saying, right? So as in regards to featurism, I have like pouty brat's lips. I have more of an African American nose, I feel like, that can look like more narrow up and down versus like wide. I think I have a good balance in my nose. My eyes are almond and they're pretty, and my eyebrows are like kind of curved, arched, and they work for me, right? And I have a bigger forehead. Pretty girls have pretty foreheads. I don't give a fuck. And I have beautiful brown eyes, especially when the sun hits them. They're very deep and mesmerizing, right? And I have pretty teeth, right? And I have an oval slash heart shaped face. And as I continue to lose weight, we'll see how much that changes. Because I remember like Shira 7, she had more of a rounder face, but she's lost weight. It's more like oval, rectangular, very pretty, you know? And so I take pride in my features. And you should do that too. Depending on what type of brown cis dark skin out you are, own it. Rock that shit. And also you can like move up and down within the range of brown cis dark skin cool. Like for me, I'm a West Indian type of brown cis dark skin cool mixed with African American origins as well, Southern ones at that. And so for me, I have like the best of both worlds in that regard. But sometimes some people might say like Afro Latina, depending on what type of hair I'm putting on my head and like how I'm looking that day and like my attire, what hairstyle with the hair texture, right? And then you have some people that might say, I look Douglas to them, more Caribbean looking, more Jamaican, more West Indian, etc. But they can tell that at my heart, I'm an island Southern gal. Okay, right? Right? Okay. And so I can mix it up. And sometimes when I wear a 4C kinkier type of hair, like that Marley twist type, that afro type of texture, and I put it in my hair, I look like an African goddess. So my thing is like, depending on how you want to switch it up with your beauty, my Rosalins, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And you can play within that range, right? Of beautiful brown slash dark skin exoticals, right? And then sometimes you can even, okay, so we talked about textures and featureism. Pretty privilege, baby, that's a given. If all your features come together and they look cute, they look symmetrical, they look nice, you got a nice smile, you're healthy, etc., that really sparks the conversation of that's a pretty girl, right? So again, there's no one type of beauty. There's no one type of pretty. Even within the brown slash dark skin exotical queendom, we have range. We have a spectrum. And so I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, the Afro Latino is prettier than the Dougla. I'm not about to do all that. The African American is better than the oh, yeah, no. Hell no. It's better than the Blasians, you know what I'm saying? I'm not about to do all that. None is better than the other, just a different type of beauty within the brown cis dark skin aqua queendom. But still, they are all beautiful. Just like I say with brown, dark skin, or light skin exoticals. We have different flavors of beauty, but we are all still bad bitches at me. So yeah. And then when it comes down to admixture, okay, and when it comes down to your you got admixture, and then you got whether you're mixed or you have admixture. Mother has admixtures, native European admixture, along with my blackness, amen. And so some of you have higher content, so more than 25% admixture, you're mixed. Less than 25% you have admixture is what we're going to call it. And so depending on what natural roots you have, what type of, as you can say, cultures, ethnicities that make up you, even if you look like a different ethnicity when it's all put together on your face, right? And everything. You want to explore that. You want to take pride in that, okay? So since I know that I am West Indie, I'm going to be experimenting more with the West Indie culture and also West Indie attire and beauty tips. Amen, right? And so I want to speak on that more moving forward about how to make yourselves more ambiguous within your pretty girl, goal squad, brown says dark skin exotic cool spectrum and range. Okay? We are here to elevate our exoticalness to another level and to take pride in all the parts that make us us, our blackness and our otherness included, and our cultures, and what part of the world you're from, and what part of the world you get mistaken for, right? And so we're gonna dive into that on this channel because I feel like my brown suggestions Gonzalez, you all need my Rosalins. You need to understand just how much fluidity you have with your beauty, how spectacular, unique, and very much show stopping it very much is. We don't subscribe to the ideology of, oh, you're just a regular black woman, you look just like me, or as if blackness is not something to be praised and pedestalized, as if our otherness is not something to be praised and pedestalized. How about this? I'm a brown, cis, dark skin, cool. I run my own life. I clock my own identity, and I'm a bad bitch in whatever category you want to put me in. And I'm going to take pride in my beauty fluidity and my beauty ranges. Now, at me. Like, that's the type of energy we're going to have on this channel. Because everybody always wants to police the brown, cis, dark skin, exotical because we have the melanin to go with the looks, right? And so, of course, unambiguous black people want to grab us and say, this is all that you are, when we know damn well that our beauty hits different, especially compared to the talking points of, black men don't want them, etc. Oh, I can't foresee this, etc. Oh, like you're targeted because you have darker skin. There are colors men that don't like you because you're dark skinned or brown skinned, and the enemy is the light skinned exotical and all that shit. We don't subscribe to that on this channel. We are about empowering our sisters, which are light skin exoticals, and each other, which are the brown slash darker skin exoticals. Because we know in whatever beauty type you fall, at the end of the day, you're an exotical, and so you're going to be targeted by others. Why would we do that to each other, right? We don't divide and conquer here. We praise our uniqueness. We praise our beauty, no matter how it comes packaged. And we also have fluidity. We can switch it up. We could change our aesthetics. We can change our makeup, our hair, our body weight, lose the weight, gain the weight. Please don't gain no weight. I take that back. Don't gain no damn weight. Lose the weight. Amen. Unless you are severely anorexic, you shouldn't be gaining a damn thing. Let me just say that. And this is not from someone who is like saying that to be bigger is the worst thing in the world. Because you know, I always ride for my bigger, beautiful women. My beautiful, bigger brown/dark skin exoticals. I have nothing against you. My beautiful, bigger, lighter skin exoticals. But I understand that health also coincides with beauty. And you, my dear, should live a long, beautiful life. And the only way to do that is to still be here and in good health and faith. Amen. Amen. So I'm going to always tell you to continue losing your weight. Just like I tell myself. Yes, we slip up at times. I'm not going to act like I'm motherfucking Teresa in this bitch. But what I'm going to say, right, is that we have got to do better. We're going to do better, right? Because this beauty wasn't bought, honey. We might be pretty and poor. We might not understand everything about our identity. We might be on a spiritual awakening. We might even be on our weight loss glow up journey because that's what this channel is about. You know, the in between, becoming, right? That's what my channel is for. The women that are here to become, right? To become something greater than themselves, which is their higher selves, the selves they were always meant to be. That is what my channel is for. Everybody's not going to understand it. Everybody's not going to like it. Everybody's not going to empathize with it. And to those people, we say goodbye. And to the people that are on the same journey as us, we say hello. And so, for my brown dark skin Zockles, my beautiful Rosalines, this video is dedicated to you just to show the ranges of beauty that we have, even as brown dark skin Zockles, since every motherfucker want to play with us and tell us we only have one beauty type, and that's unambiguous black women. No, we are not them. They are not us. We have different struggles, different privileged plights. Check out my series on my channel. And we also own up to our blackness. We don't take shame in our blackness. We actually take pride in it. We don't think our blackness, our melanated skin holds us back. We know it elevates our beauty to another level, you know? And so here on this channel, we are going to be diving deeper into what it means to be a brown dark skin exotical, because what I've realized more than anything is no one represents you like yourself. And you need to be able to represent yourself if you want to be heard correctly, because everybody else in their mama will tell you what you are and what you aren't. But you have to take the reins and say, hell no, I am who the fuck I say I am, and let me explain. And we're not explaining to the haters, fuck no. We're explaining to our fellow sisters who might still be having body dysmorphia, because we struggle with that as pretty girls, and also identity dysmorphia, where they're trying their best to, resonate with the talking points of unambiguous black women and people, but yet the reality is just so different. And they wonder why. Well, I'm going to tell you the fuck why. It's because you're not an unambiguous black woman. You're not an unambiguous black person. You, my dear, are a brown/dark skin exotical, or a brown to dark skin exotical, or a brown or dark skin exotical. You are one or the other, right? And you have a place here with Mother and your fellow Goal Squad, beautiful ladies here amongst the other Rosalines, where we're all learning, each one teach one, how to embrace our exotic brown and darker skin beauties. And with that, Mother's gonna say ciao.